Good afternoon, kids. Today we are going to make a 3D giraffe. If you take a look, it comes off the paper. That's what makes it 3D. Today you are tuning in to the Crafty Corner. And I'm Miss Lisa, and I'm here at the Fayette County Public Library. Now, if you remember, I have kits for you here at the library. You can come in, grab a packet, and it will have everything in it that you need to make this super cute giraffe. Giraffes are awesome animals with their big long necks and their big long tongues. Today we're going to make a super cute giraffe. Now, what you need to make this giraffe is some cardstock. You need the template with all the pieces of the giraffe. And if you go to our Facebook page here at the library, there is a place that you can click on this and print it off. Try to print it off on cardstock if you have it. That makes it much more sturdy. You also need another piece of paper for things to be glued down on. You need to have some tissue paper or some kind of green paper to make the leaves, because don't you know that giraffes love to eat the leaves from the tops of the trees. If you have it, it would be good to have some wiggly eyes. You also need something to color with, and today I'm using the colored pencils. You need some scissors, some glue, and I have both types today. And you also need some strips of paper so that you can layer the pieces of the giraffe so that he can become 3D and pop right off the paper. All right, so those are the things that you need. Let's get started. Well, the first thing you need to do is color the pieces of the giraffe. And I've already done that today to keep us from having you watch me color. So we have a neck, we have the face, we have the mouth, ears, and horns. So the first thing you need to do after you color it, and you don't have to do it realistic, you don't have to do it yellow and orange. You can make him whatever fanciful color you would like. The first thing we need to do is cut out his neck. Now his neck's not totally complete yet because we need to put some spots on him. But I'm going to go ahead and cut him out. We're going to take our brown colored pencil and we're just going to scribble a couple little spots and color it in with that brown. Okay, spots are what make the giraffe so unique. So if you just put a couple of extra spots on there, it's going to look more like a giraffe than if you left it plain. Okay, so my coloring is not super good this afternoon. I'm sure you guys can do a great job on your giraffe. Once you have the neck where you want it, you're going to glue it down. It will be the base on your paper. Now, you're going to have the neck stick off a little bit. So don't put glue all the way down. You're only going to need to have glue about halfway down on that neck so that it can stick off the paper, because he's a little bit too big for the whole piece of paper. All right. Now that we have the neck down, we need to pop his head off. In order to pop the head off of the paper, we're going to need some I don't know what we call these little tubes. So we're going to glue the two ends together so that we have this ring. So we're going to actually have two of them. Whoa, it popped off. So sometimes you have to hold it a little bit longer to make sure it sticks together. Okay, press it down really well. And then we're going to put the glue here. And we're just going to stick it onto the paper about where we want our head to be. So there's one, and we're actually going to use two of them. So we need to make another one of these rings. Press it down really well. And we're going to go ahead and glue it in place. All right. Now, if you squish these and press him down, he's not going to pop off the paper as much. Then we're going to need to come back and get his head. So while that's sort of drying on there, we're going to cut his head out. And we're going to need to finish the head up because the head's going to have some spots on it too. So this is his head. And we're only going to need to have a couple of spots up near the top because the mouth is going to cover up this bottom portion. So let's put a couple of these irregular circles on Mr. Giraffe. Maybe over here on the side, we can give him another little spot. Maybe up over here, we'll give him another little spot. Okay. So once we have that done, we need his ears and his horns. So let's go ahead and cut out the horns and the ears. Now the horns are going to just stick up off the top, and the ears are going to stick back behind. So we have two different ways that we're going to be gluing the pieces on. Okay, make sure when you have trash that you put it in the trash can. Okay, don't leave it for mom or dad to clean up. Take care of your trash yourself. Okay, so our ears we're going to want to stick behind, and the horns are going to stick on top of the face. So with the with the ears, we're going to put a little glue right on top of our coloring, and then just glue it behind the head. And again, press it down a little bit so that it stays. And then with the horns, you'll put the glue behind and then just stick it on. There. With the wiggly eyes, just put two little dots of glue wherever you want those eyes to be, and glue his little eyes right in there. It looks so much cuter when the eyes are on. All right, now that the eyes are on, we're ready to make him pop up off the paper. So I'm going to put some glue now on our tubes and lay the head down. All right, so we're going to lay our head down in those tubes. He's going to stick right off the paper. Okay. Okay, and you're just going to have to let it dry a little bit. Don't mess with it too much. All right. Now we're going to pop off his mouth too. So we need another tube. So if you'll just take your strips of paper that you have, and see, I'm even using scrap paper. It's not even a plain color because it's got some little designs on it, but it's just scrap paper, and it just helps pop him off, so that doesn't really matter. And now we're going to put the glue again on the tube, and we're going to lay it this way, opposite way than from before. So we're going to lay that tube there. All right, so now while that's hanging out and drying just a little bit, we're going to go ahead and cut his mouth out. And I chose to make mine sort of a orangish color. Now, to make some nostrils, if you take your brown and just make some ovals so that he can breathe. Okay, just make some ovals right there on top of the orange. And then, of course, we want a happy giraffe. So we're going to make our smile in there. Okay, and I'm using all colored pencils today, but crayons and markers, even paint would work well. That was my original, I had done mine in paint. Okay, so now we're going to want to glue that on top of this tube. So we need our glue here. And just make sure that you can see his eyes well enough. Don't cover up the eyes. Okay, so there you can see he's starting to pop off. Now, to finish it up, we need to do some of the trees for the giraffe to eat. So the easiest way to do that is to take your tissue paper and cut little squares, lay them all on top of each other, and then just draw or cut out. You can draw it on there first if you need to, but if you just cut out a leaf shape, okay, sort of just do a half of a circle on either side, then voila, you have a whole bunch of leaf shapes that are exactly alike. And you can decorate your background however you choose. I'm just going to scribble some glue here on this corner and lay some tissue paper down so that he has some leaves to eat. Now you can see that I'm sort of sticking it off the paper. That's okay because we can trim it later. So there's some leaves on that side. And we'll scribble some glue over here. And we'll just stick some leaves over on this side. Tissue paper sort of sticks together. There you go. Then you can leave it that way if you would like, or you can trim it off to maybe give it a little bit of a neater feel. If you want to draw trees on the background or other animals or color it green, that would be totally up to you. But isn't he adorable? This is a 3D giraffe because we put tubes under the different pieces so that he pops right up off the paper. Well, boys and girls, if you make this giraffe, I sure hope you will post it in the comments so that I can see what your giraffes look like. Now, I'll be back again next Wednesday at 2 o'clock with another craft right here at the Crafty Corner at the Fayette County Public Library. I'm Miss Lisa, and I'll see you next week.